Hello everyone, my name is Chitra Goswami and this video is for the summary of lesson number 10 and the name of the lesson is English What You Already Know. The objectives of this lesson are to build students' confidence by giving them an opportunity to use English vocabulary they already know and to help students realize they all have a different knowledge of English and create a comfortable classroom environment for speaking in English. You will begin the class with 2 minutes of mindfulness exercise and you will continue this every day till lesson number 80. After lesson number 80, it is an optional activity that is done if your students want to start the class with mindfulness exercise. For the first step, you will explain that at FEA, everyone is coming to the classroom with different knowledge of English that we will build upon. Then you will ask a few questions from the students. The first question is, how can you help to make others feel comfortable practicing English and making mistakes? And the second question is, how can you learn from each other during FEA lessons? The second question is, how can you learn from each other during English lessons? Now, for the second step, you will form groups of 3 or 4 students and you will tell them to open their SAB to lesson number 10. Then you will give students 15 minutes to list as many words and sentences in English as they can to describe the image. They may choose to write the list or say it orally. After 5 to 10 minutes, you can provide some prompt if needed. The first prompt is, what are people in the picture doing? Second is, how many do you see? And the third is, where in the picture are they? When the 15 minutes are up, you will call on each group to share 3 or 4 of their words or sentences and you will encourage each member of the group to speak. You will ask the class to applaud after each group shares. Then, to make it competitive, you will ask which group thinks they listed the most words or sentences and tell them to count. Then you will acknowledge the students for speaking bravely in English in front of the class and for encouraging their classmates. For the third step, you will ask 2 questions from the students. The first question is, how did the last activity make you feel? And the second question is, were you surprised at how much English vocabulary you already have? The next part of the lesson is mobilization or perseverance. For mobilization, you will ask students to review what they learned about mobilization from the previous lesson and you will give practice time if needed. You will remind students that their goal is to fill the classroom with 18 or more students and you will encourage them to invite their friends, neighbors and family members who are close in age. Then you will go along with the group to mobilize. And for perseverance, the objective is that students recognize that often practice, hard work and multiple attempts are required to succeed at something. The first step, you will tell students to think about the things that you have been asking them to do in class so far. That is, participate in discussion and activities and start using laptops and practicing English. Take care of classroom materials and bring other students to join the program. Then you will conduct a TPS activity. The questions for the TPS are, what have you been doing well at FEA so far? And second question is, what is something that has been challenging that you would like to improve at? For the second step, you will show the AV of the lesson and then you will ask a few questions from the students. The first question is, what did you see in the video? For the second step, you will show the AV of the lesson and then you will ask a few questions from the students. The first question is, what did you see in the video? The second question is, did the bird succeed in the first attempt? The third question is, did the bird stop trying? Then you will relate the video with learning. One becomes better with practice and hard work. It often takes more than one attempt. You will explain that this is called perseverance. For the third step, if possible, you will start by telling your own story of a time in your life when something was difficult. You will tell it with detail and feeling and explain what made you keep going. Then you will ask students to find a partner to tell their own stories and you will encourage them each to spend at least 2 to 3 minutes sharing the details of the story. Then you will ask a few questions from the students. The first question is, think about a time in your life when something was difficult but you didn't give up. What happened and how did you feel? The second question is, you will give students an opportunity to share their stories with the class if they would like. Now for the fourth step, you will ask a few questions from the students. The first question is, how can perseverance help you at FEA? And the second question is, how can perseverance help you in life? The third question is, what keeps you going when you want to give up on something? You will tell students that they need to believe that they can learn and improve by attending classes every day and that if they finish the program without giving up, it can help them to succeed. And then you will ask one question from the students. The question is, are you ready to learn and change your life? Now, for the fifth step, you will acknowledge the class for what they did well during the lesson, such as working together well, listening well, participating in discussions and having a positive attitude. And then you will conduct the pledge. Thank you so much.